hello, come take a walk with me and maybe help me brainstorm a little bit. This video won't be for everyone, but maybe it's for you. I am thinking a lot about what's next, stuff I'm working on, and I would love to hear some of your feedback about what you might be interested in. I think we're about to enter the era of Kevin 3.0, you guys. Are you ready? I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm trying to figure out like the best way to present it. This is what I would love to hear back from people. Like what I'm about to say, I would love to know, like, here's how I would like that to be presented to me. I have a feeling it's probably Patreon. People say Patreon all the time, and I've just started looking at that app. It looks pretty cool. It looks like maybe exactly what I need to use. Do you guys use Patreon? Do you know anyone who's like using Patreon in an incredible way that you could share with me? I would love to see people who are like really doing it right. For some reason, I've gotten like 200,000 new followers in the last couple weeks. A little wave like that, or a big wave like that, happens once in a while, and I'm not totally sure why, but I'm glad. And a lot of those new followers tuned into all of my auto-tuned church stories and 90s videos for the first time. And it's funny because, I mean, a lot of those are just reposts. I haven't really made a lot of new content like that in a long time, because over the period of like a year and a half, I made like 300 of those auto-tune videos. There's just a lot of them. So it's like a new wave of people who just haven't seen that before. So hi, I'm glad you're enjoying that. But a lot of that content is like 2 or 3 years old, and I'm just, you know, I'm working on what's next. I've talked about this in the past, so sorry if it's being a broken record for some of you, but the pandemic era Reels and TikToks were so cool. I'm so glad that happened to me. It changed my whole life and opened so many doors, and it brought so many of you into my little world. I'm so thankful. That era is so over. So many of you are like, oh my God, I never see the content from the creators I followed. Yeah, I know. That's intentional, you guys. That doesn't really serve the algorithm anymore. Our robot overlords. Now they want to constantly push you new content and products. They don't really stand to gain anything by nurturing Kevin's little community. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to gather my community. The algorithm stuff, it doesn't inspire good there's that word again. It doesn't inspire good stuff. It makes artists chase the algorithm. I don't want to do that. I feel like there's enough of you who are interested in what I'm doing and talking about that we could find this community in a purposeful place, in a place that's easy and not confusing. Middle-aged people are going through something different right now. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe every generation does this, but it feels like we're like asking bigger questions about what more do I want out of my life? What's next for me? I don't feel like, I think when you're young, when we were young, Gen X, I feel like most of us thought that life was over at 40. And now that a lot of us are in our 40s and 50s, or all of us are in our 40s and 50s, we're like, I'm not done at all. What's next? I think for younger people, some of that content has been inspiring because young people put this pressure on themselves, like, you've got to have it all figured out by 30, and if you don't, you've fucked it up. And I feel like hearing this kind of discussion can be inspiring for younger people, because there's no time limit, there's no ticking clock. You've got all the time that you want to have, usually. And for those of us who are in midlife, I think we're just like, I want to talk about meaning, and I want to talk about life, and I want my life to have more meaning and purpose. See, this is not what a lot of you tuned in for. This is not auto-tuned 90s stuff at all. But it's where my brain is. As time goes on, I'm like less interested in making content. And I'm more interested in making art. And I know that's super pretentious, but guess what, guys? That's me. And I'm looking for my pretentious fans out there who want meaningful stuff. I'm about to write a book. I'm going to Europe to write this book. I want to continue my photography work, and I know a lot of you don't even know that I'm a photographer. I'm about to launch a new podcast. To me, it's all the same stuff. And a lot of you have responded to that more thoughtful content, and that's where I feel like I'm really headed. So I'm looking at Patreon. It looks like it's not like it used to be. Like, I think now you don't even have to necessarily pay. I think you can just follow the creators you like. And then there's like options to pay. I think it looks like I could almost create a menu of things. Like I'm working on, maybe some of you want to see what my life is like in England while I'm writing the book. Maybe some of you just want to hear the podcast. Maybe some of you would like to see my naughty photography. I think it looks like I can lay it out in a menu that you can just select the things that you'd like to see and not the ones you don't want to see. So I'm checking it out. What do you guys think? Is it confusing? Is it like, do you use Patreon? Just talking out loud here.